here we come up with the embryology lecture of menstrual cycle. So therefore, in the lecture of menstrual cycle or uterine cycle, the definition, it is a periodic structural changes that are happening in the endometrium of the uterus. And these periodic structural changes, they are represented in the form of cyclical changes, which will take place throughout the reproductive age of the female. And these changes, they are manifested by, what are the major changes that will take place? They are manifested by the growth of endometrium. Second will be degeneration of endometrium. And third will be, after degeneration, there will be exfoliation. Exfoliation of the endometrial tissue along with the blood. So based upon structural changes, and what are those structural changes? Growth of the endometrium, then there will be degeneration of the endometrium. Growth means repair, then degenerative changes, and finally exfoliation. That means those endometrial tissues which are degenerated are removed along with the blood clots, along with the blood. So these three changes are manifested within the endometrium of uterus within each and every periodic menstrual cycle. Now here, the cycle, the menstrual cycle, the average period of menstrual cycle in a female will be around 28 days. But this 28 days may vary from individual to individual, maybe plus or minus 1 or 2 days. But the average days for one menstrual cycle will be 28 days. So therefore, within this 28 days, within this one menstrual cycle, there will be these changes which are manifested in the endometrial lining of the uterus. Now, how to count? The entire menstrual cycle will be counted from first day of one menstrual cycle, first day of one menstrual cycle till first day of the next menstrual cycle, till the first day of the next menstrual cycle. This is how you have to count the menstrual cycle. First day of one menstrual cycle till the first day of the next menstrual cycle. Now, this entire cycle will be under the influence of two different hormones which are released from ovarian cycle. So ovarian cycle, which we have discussed prior to this, ovarian cycle which we have discussed prior to this lecture, we have noted there were presence of two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So these two hormones, estrogen as well as progesterone, will play an important role in regulation of this uterine cycle or menstrual cycle. So therefore, these two hormones which are released during ovarian cycle will regulate the entire menstrual cycle or uterine cycle in such a way that now the entire menstrual cycle is divided into, now here the divisions, that is what I have written. The entire menstrual cycle is divided into three different phases. So what are the divisions of menstrual cycle? The divisions of menstrual cycle will be, number one, proliferative or follicular. Please note down, the first stage will be known as proliferative stage or follicular stage. Second stage will be known as secretory stage or luteal stage, or it is also known as progestational stage because it is under the influence of progesterone hormone, the same progesterone hormone. First phase is under the influence of estrogen, same estrogen. Third phase will be the menstrual phase. So these are the three phases which are differentiated in the entire menstrual cycle. So the entire menstrual cycle is divided into these three phases. Now based upon these three phases, we have to note down several points. And what are those points? In order to understand those points, we will take the help of, please come on this side, we will take the help of a line diagram, simple line diagram. So for the simple line diagram here, the first structure that I am going to draw will be stratum basal. I will extend the stratum basal from this level. This is stratum basal, the first structure. So therefore, here, going to note down, this is stratum basal. So this entire layer will be the stratum basal layer. So let us thicken this layer. This is the layer of the endometrium, which we are going to note down later on. So first, this is stratum basal. Above that, we are going to draw two layers which are joined together, stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. Spongiosum is intermediate layer and compactum will be superficial. So simply we have to draw in this way, where we draw this uterine glands. This way you have to draw the uterine glands, and then suddenly here it will increase in thickness and the uterine glands will become tortuous. Here also the uterine glands will become tortuous. This is what you have to show. And then slowly here you have to ward off. That means you have to show that here it has almost degenerated. Only a few pieces of endometrial tissue and uterine glands are left. Now, here what we'll note down will be these two layers. This will be stratum compactum, uppermost apical layer. Intermediate layer will be stratum spongiosum. Please note down. Stratum compactum, uppermost apical layer, stratum spongiosum, where my hand is there, intermediate layer, and basal is stratum basal. Now, after noting this, we start with the proliferative phase. After drawing this much, we are going to start with the proliferative phase or follicular stage. What are the points? The points in follicular proliferative stage. So here, similarly, I am going to note down the points. Proliferative stage, or it is also known as follicular stage. Proliferation, the word starts with proliferation. So here, this stage is under the influence of estrogen. First point, under the influence of estrogen. Second point, there will be growth and repair of the endometrial tissue after the preceding menstrual stage. So here, this stage has come as a result of preceding menstrual stage of the preceding menstrual cycle. So after the completion of the menstrual stage of that preceding menstrual cycle, once again the endometrial tissue will undergo the next menstrual cycle. So for the next menstrual cycle, there will be once again introduction of the first phase. And what is the first phase? The first stage, proliferative or follicular. And for that proliferative follicular stage, there will be growth and repair of the endometrial tissue. So here there will be growth and repair of endometrial tissue. That is what is the highlight of this stage, proliferative stage or follicular stage. Here there will be extensive proliferation of endometrial tissue, endometrial cells. Now the cells which are lining, now if you come to this diagram, the cells which are lining this endometrium. So these epithelial cells which are lining the endometrium, as well as the cells which are lining these glands. Now see here, these glands are uterine glands. This is what I am showing. All these are uterine glands. And these uterine glands are simple tubular glands. So the cells which are lining this endometrium, the epithelial cells, as well as the cells which are lining these uterine glands, they are columnar cells. So these cells will be the columnar cells. Please note down. And the uterine glands which will develop, will be simple tubular type of uterine glands. As a result of this, the thickness of endometrium will reach up to 1 to 3 mm in thickness. So therefore, the thickness will be 1 to 3 mm. So this will be the thickness of the uterine endometrium. Please note down all these points which are there as changes in the proliferative and follicular stage, 1 to 3 mm. Next, you have to mention these 3 layers. So as a result of this thickness, the entire endometrium is divided into stratum basal, the lowermost layer, stratum spongiosum, that is the intermediate layer, and superficial layer, stratum compactum. Stratum compactum. So therefore, these are the points of the first stage. Please note down. Very simple. It is very easy to understand. This entire stage is under the influence of, we know, estrogen. Now what will happen? At the end of this phase, now please note down, at the end of proliferative stage or follicular stage, there will be the entire occurrence of ovulation. So ovulation, please note down, ovulation will take place at the end of proliferative stage or follicular stage. After discussing these points, we have finished the first stage, proliferative or follicular stage. At the end of this stage, ovulation will take place. Now, we shall discuss, once I rub this, we shall discuss the second stage. Now, coming to the second stage, let us discuss that second stage, that is secretory or luteal stage. So, we start from here, secretory stage or luteal stage. Now, what are the changes? Very interesting changes will take place. Ovulation has taken place. This stage will come directly under the influence of progesterone. Progesterone hormone will be introduced now, so it will lead to the development of this stage. Next, the main important points, the important changes will be, there will be increase in the thickness of the endometrial tissue. The previous thickness in the previous stage was 1 to 3 mm. Now here, this thickness will be 5 to 7 mm. Please note down. This is the thickness. This thickness is also asked in many MCQs. So 5 to 7 mm is the thickness of endometrium, which will be achieved or which will be reached in this stage. Which stage? The secretory stage or luteal stage or progestational stage. So it will increase to 5 to 7 mm. Why does it increase to 5 to 7 mm? That is very important. The thickness will increase to 5 to 7 mm. So here, if we come here, we can name this stage as secretory stage or luteal stage or progestational stage. And you can compare this, and this stage over here, we can name this as the first stage, that is proliferative or follicular. So this much is the proliferative stage, and from here to here is the secretory or luteal stage. Here you can note the thickness, it has increased in thickness. Now, if I note down over here, why it has increased in thickness, the first point. Now let us note down the first point. There will be increased collection of tissue fluid within the stromal cells. So collection of tissue fluid, where? In the stromal cells within the stroma. Very simple. Second reason, the second important point will be, there will be increased in secretion within the uterine glands. There will be, here I'll put the arrow, increase in secretion of uterine glands. So uterine glands will be filled up with so much of the secretions. As a result of which, the uterine glands will undergo dilated appearance and convolutions. This word is very important. The uterine glands will be dilated, they become convoluted, and as a result of which they will resemble saw-tooth appearance. This word I am going to write down, SAW, saw-tooth appearance. One more question answer. What is saw-tooth appearance? Please note down here. If you come here, if you note down, these uterine glands, where I am putting the arrow, these are the uterine glands, they will resemble the saw-tooth appearance. So I am going to note down in the diagram, please note down here, saw-tooth appearance of uterine glands. Because of increased collection of secretion within the glands, and glands will become dilated, tortuous, and here they will resemble sawtooth appearance. Now we come to the third point. Remember, we are discussing the points why the endometrial thickness has reached till 5 to 7 mm, why it has increased in thickness. Third point will be, besides first and second point, the third important point will be the stromal cells. Once again, stromal cells, the cells of the stroma will accumulate. What does it accumulate? I will put an arrow for accumulation. Glycogen and lipids. Several glycogen and lipid particles will be accumulated within the cytoplasm of stromal cells, as a result of which the cells will enlarge, and as a result of which this entire reaction is called decidual reaction. This is also one of the reasons for the increase in the thickness. Then point number 4, which is very important. Here, there are several branches of uterine arteries which are supplying the stratum basal as well as the stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. These arteries which supply stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum will undergo spiral or tortuous course. So tortuosity or spiral course will be there in the uterine arteries. Please note down, the uterine arteries become more spiral. And these spiral uterine arteries, they will supply compactum and spongiosum. So here we are going to draw first. Let us take here in the first phase, proliferative follicular stage. Here we show that these are the arteries. These are the uterine arteries, the branches. And of course, here these are the branches of uterine arteries in the stratum basal, which I am going to show here. And from them, these branches are sprouting and supplying the layers, that is stratum spongiosum and stratum compactum. So branches of uterine arteries. But once it reaches the stage of secretory or luteal, the arteries become, see here now, the arteries become spiral. Once again, spiral, that is, they will resemble tortuous course. In the stratum basal, they are straight. Same way here, in the first phase, proliferative stage, the arteries uterine, the branches of uterine arteries were not spiral, they were straight, simple arteries, supplying all the 3 layers. But here, once it has entered this stage, secretory or luteal stage, the arteries have undergone spiral course, because coiling of arteries have taken place. Because of these coilings, repeated coiling of the arteries have become spiral. So they are called spiral arteries. And these spiral arteries will supply only the 2 layers, stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. So therefore, here I am going to note down that these arteries are known as spiral arteries. So we don't have time, coming up in the next segment. So therefore, as we have noted down the spiral arteries, why they are called spiral arteries. So these are the 4 reasons, 1, 2, 3, 4, how the size of the endometrial thickness has increased from 1 to 3 mm to 5 to 7 mm. These are the 4 different causes. The 4th cause is mentioning of the spiral arteries, tortuosity, because of the coiling of the arteries. Now what happens is that at the end of this stage, what will happen? Now here, if I just put an arrow, at the end of second stage, there will be reduction of progesterone. And why progesterone is reduced? Because of degeneration of corpus luteum. Degeneration of corpus luteum will produce the decrease in progesterone, and as a result of which the second stage will end. And as a result of which this decrease in progesterone will provide stimulating effect for the commencement of the third stage. So because of this decrease in progesterone, the third stage, menstrual stage, will start. So this decrease in progesterone will be the triggering effect. This is also asked in MCQ, that menstruation, the third stage, will start. and the entire uterine endometrium will undergo menses. It will enter the menses, that is the menstrual stage. So once again, in the menstrual stage, what we'll do is we'll discuss the menstrual stage. For that, I will just rub here. I'll create some space over here. And in the menstrual stage, we shall start with that of the, let me write down first over here. We write down the menstrual stage. It will start with, are we able to see? So it is going to start with the decrease in progesterone. Next point will be, the next point will be, here the most important triggering point after the decrease in progesterone will be, what will happen? There will be more amount of coiling of spiral arteries. The spiral arteries will coil, you keep on coiling. Because of that increased amount of coiling, because of increased amount of coiling of spiral arteries, what will happen will be vasoconstriction. There will be vasoconstriction in these spiral arteries. As a result of which blood supply will be cut off. There will be decreased or no blood supply to the endometrium. To the endometrium. As a result of which, please see that we are maintaining this flowchart. As a result of which, no blood supply of endometrium, endometrial tissue will die. There will be local death of endometrial tissue. And immediately what will happen will be, there will be sudden vasodilatation of the arteries. As a result of sudden vasodilatation, what will happen will be, here I'll put arrow on this side, there will be escape of blood from the damaged capillaries. So capillary wall will be damaged and there will be escape of blood from the damaged capillary walls because of vasodilatation. This sudden vasodilatation will cause damage to capillary wall from which the blood will escape. And as the blood will escape from the capillary wall, along with that, the endometrial tissue has become dead and therefore there will be bits and pieces of stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. So please note down, stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum will, both these layers, they will exfoliate. These two layers will be dead. They will be in bits and pieces which will then flow along with the blood. So together, along with the blood, stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum will flow, and that portion which flows will be known as menses. So what is menses? It contains bits and pieces of endometrial tissue. And which portion of endometrial tissue? Stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. Please note down, this is asked in 1 mark question answer. Stratum basal will remain. It will not flow outside. It will remain. There will be no damage to stratum basal because its arterial supply will be different from stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum. Please note down. Only stratum compactum and spongiosum will break. So this two layers, stratum compactum, spongiosum, as they break down into various pieces, along with the blood they will flow, and this entire mixture will be known as menses. And these menses will flow, and this stage will remain for around 4 to 5 days. And therefore, here we can show that in this stage there will be flowing of blood. And this stage over here we can write down as menstrual stage. This is the diagram where exfoliation of the two layers has taken place, compactum and spongiosum, and along with that blood. This is what we show, it is menstrual stage. Now here, as the stage will last for 4 to 5 days, and immediately after this stage, what will happen? The endometrium will again enter the first stage, proliferative stage. Here one important point you have to note down, as we have noted down, this stage occurs because of the decrease in progesterone. Now, there is one more concept which is known as, sometimes it is asked in 1 mark question answer, what is anovular bleeding? Anovular bleeding means the bleeding which takes place in the menstrual cycle without prior ovulation. So without ovulation taking place, if the bleeding will commence or bleeding will start in the menstrual stage, then that particular bleeding is called anovular bleeding, where ovulation does not take place prior to the menstrual bleeding. And here, this bleeding, this stage is only because of, please note down, decrease in estrogen level. This is the difference between the regular menstrual stage. Here, regular menstrual stage was because of, please come on this side, this menstrual stage, regular, was because of decrease in progesterone. And over here, in anovular bleeding, it is because of decrease in estrogen. Now, here we have completed the menstrual stage. After this, once again the endometrial will grow, it will have a growth and proliferative stage, it will go in repair stage, where the next menstrual cycle will commence. So here we finished the entire menstrual cycle. Thank you very much.